What if one of the most dangerous mothers in North America's frozen wilderness wasn't a bear, a wolf, or a mountain lion? What if she was barely the size of a medium dog? Deep beneath the snow, 3 tiny Wolverine cubs are waiting. Their eyes are barely open. Their legs are too weak to travel. And they have absolutely no idea that outside their den, almost everything is trying to survive too. Their mother does. She knows that one mistake could expose the den. One missed meal could weaken her cubs. And one encounter with the wrong predator could end everything. So while her babies remain hidden beneath the snow, she walks into the wilderness alone. The temperature is brutal, food is scarce, and somewhere out there, a pack of wolves is already searching for its next meal. But the mother Wolverine is searching too. She follows a scent through the frozen forest. Then she stops. A carcass, a large one. But she isn't the first predator to find it. Several wolves are already feeding. The Wolverine watches from a distance. She knows she cannot defeat an entire pack. But she doesn't need the whole carcass. She only needs enough to keep 3 hungry cubs alive. She waits. She circles. She watches the wolves carefully. Then, when the moment comes, she rushes forward. A wolf turns, another follows. The Wolverine grabs a piece of frozen meat and pulls it away. For a few seconds, the entire pack notices her. She could be killed, but instead of fighting, she disappears into the snow. And somehow, the food is still with her. Hours later, she reaches the den. The 3 cubs immediately rush toward her. They have been waiting. The mother drops the meat. The cubs begin feeding. She watches them. She eats almost nothing. Because right now, their survival matters more than hers. But there is a problem. Tomorrow, she has to do it all over again. And the cubs are growing, which means they need more food. So the mother travels farther, and this time, she finds something even more dangerous. A bear. A massive bear is feeding on a carcass. The Wolverine stops. The difference in size is enormous. One careless move, and she could be crushed. So she waits. The bear feeds. The mother watches. Minutes pass. Eventually, the bear moves away. But the Wolverine doesn't immediately approach. She knows better. She waits even longer. Then she moves in. She tears away a piece of meat, then another. Suddenly, the bear turns. The Wolverine freezes. For one terrifying moment, the entire forest seems silent. Then she backs away. She doesn't need to win. She only needs to survive and bring something home. But while the mother is risking her life for food, her cubs are facing a different danger. A strange scent reaches the den. The cubs stop moving. Their mother isn't there. Outside, something is approaching. A predator is searching through the snow. The 3 cubs instinctively crawl deeper into the darkness. They remain silent. The predator passes close to the entrance, but it doesn't find them. Eventually, the footsteps disappear. The cubs survive, and when their mother returns, she knows they are getting old enough to learn. So the next time she leaves, they follow. At first, they stumble through the snow. One cub falls behind. Another becomes distracted by a strange scent, but their mother keeps moving. She isn't simply taking them outside. She is teaching them where to walk, where to hide, what scents mean danger, and when to run. Then, suddenly, she stops. The cubs stop too. A distant howl, then another. Wolves. the mother immediately turns toward the cubs. She leads them toward rocks and fallen trees. The cubs hide. The wolves pass through the area. The mother watches without moving. She knows something the cubs are only beginning to understand. In this wilderness, being fearless doesn't mean fighting everything. Sometimes, the smartest animal is the one that knows when to disappear. But hunger doesn't disappear, and as the cubs grow, their mother needs more food than ever. One morning, she discovers a fresh carcass. For a moment, it looks like a perfect opportunity. Then, she sees the competition. A group of wolves is already there. The mother waits. She watches their movements. Then, she circles around the carcass. The wolves are distracted. She moves closer. One wolf notices. The Wolverine grabs a piece of meat and pulls. The wolf charges. She releases the carcass and runs. But she doesn't run far. She disappears behind a rock. The wolf stops. The Wolverine waits. Then she picks up the meat again and continues toward her cubs. She didn't defeat the wolf. She outsmarted it. And that may be even more important, because her cubs are no longer helpless. They are becoming hunters themselves. Under their mother's watch, they begin digging through the snow. They follow scents. They chase small prey. They fail. Again and again. But every failure teaches them something. Then one day, one of the cubs finally succeeds. A tiny meal emerges from beneath the snow. The cub freezes, then grabs it. For the first time, the cub has found food without its mother. It is a small victory, but in the wilderness, small victories become survival. The seasons begin to change. The cubs become stronger. Their bodies become heavier. Their movements become faster. And soon, they can travel for hours beside their mother. But then comes their hardest lesson. The family discovers another carcass. This time, the mother knows something is wrong. She smells wolves. The cubs are hungry. They want to approach, but the mother refuses. She turns away from the food and leads them into the forest. The cubs don't understand. Why leave food behind? Because sometimes the greatest survival decision isn't taking what you can. It's knowing when the price is too high. The wolves arrive moments later. The cubs watch from the safety of the trees. Their mother was right. That night, the family finds another meal. Not as large, not as easy, but safe. And that's the lesson the cubs will remember. The wilderness doesn't reward the strongest animal every time. It rewards the animal that can adapt, the animal that can wait, the animal that can take a risk without becoming reckless. Months ago, these 3 Wolverines were helpless babies hiding beneath the snow. Now they can travel, they can dig, they can hunt, they can recognize danger, and most importantly, they have learned how to survive without their mother making every decision for them. Soon, they will leave her. They will enter the wilderness alone. And one day, they may face the same wolves, the same bears, the same freezing winters. But they will carry something with them, not just the strength of a Wolverine, but the lessons of their mother. Because she never simply brought them food, she showed them where to find it. She never simply protected them from predators. She taught them how to avoid them. And she never taught them that survival means winning every fight. She taught them something far more valuable. Survival means knowing which battles are worth fighting. In a world buried beneath snow, where hunger is always waiting, where wolves patrol the forests, And where even a massive bear can become competition, 3 tiny cubs survived because one mother refused to stop. She walked into danger so they could remain safe. She went hungry so they could eat. And when the wilderness demanded everything from her, she gave it everything she had. Because for a mother Wolverine, the greatest weapon isn't her claws. It isn't her teeth. It isn't even her legendary fearlessness. It's the instinct to protect her young, no matter what stands between them and tomorrow.